And the schnitzel.
Is going on here? So on our channel, we just do commentary off of reading stories on Am I the A-hole about this. So this story today is Am I the A-hole for giving my daughter the same name as a friend's school bully? That lets me know right there that she was in on the bullying with the friend.
Had to be, because
To
said,
give,
would I be? Ma'am,
you already are.
You legit asked, would I be?
Giving my daughter the same name as a friend's bully. Now, if this name is the same as her grandmother or the same as her mom's mom or something like that,
Right.
by happenstance, but with this wording that you just not did, it seems like you doing malicious stuff.
Or to me, the only way I can think about it is if the friend was bullying you. Or if the friend was acting like did some malicious stuff to you or did you dirty or was coming out the side of their neck. Or if you did not know that was your friend's school bully and you named your child that. That's the only way I can see it. If you just came up with a name and it so happened to be the friend's school bully and the friend got upset over the fact
Okay,
that
then.
child.
That's the only way, baby,
Other
because
than that,
I'm about to say throw the whole friendship away, trash, all caps. Woo, what in the schnitzel for real?
real.
She said she's 31-year-old female, currently pregnant with her first child. So this is her first child. Okay, it's a girl. I've had a name in mind for if I ever had a daughter since I was a teenager. Okay, okay. So this is not you purposely did. Now you giving us backstory. Okay,
okay, exactly
this
what
is
I
what I
said.
need. This is what I needed. This is what I needed. For the sake of this post, let's say it's Lily.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's a name that means a lot to me because it belonged to my favorite character in a child's book that my grandmother would read to me. See what I'm
you say?
saying?
You did say Grammy. You
I
did say
said
Grammy,
if
and
it's
I
something
said- and I said
sentimental and then it happenstance,
that it
you
happened.
did
See,
say,
I did say that. The only way I can see it is if it is not intentional.
yeah, and that's what you should have led off with, lady, because when
Instead
you
of-
writing on here, you want people to be on your side. You don't want nobody to get in on you and be like, what in the schnitzel? To you, lady.
Right. A friend of mine, Sarah, she's put Sarah in quotation mark, a fake name.
She's 30.
30 female, had a bully at school who was called Lily. Lord.
Lord have mercy.
I've known this
Is this
for a
your best
while.
friend?
Probably. And she said friend. She didn't say best friend.
Okay. But it got to be
know-
a friend that she's seeing and
Right.
occasionally going every here and there doing stuff with.
I've known this for a while because during the casual discussion about baby names 5 or 6 years ago, I mentioned that I love the name Lily, and she said she didn't like it because someone at the school with the name had picked on her.
Okay, now, lady, you could have changed the name by now. 5 or 6 years and you wasn't even poop pregnant.
Mama, but my thing is I kind of side with her on this one because I have nothing to do with the trauma that you have. So for you to try to take a name just because you got bullied, that has nothing to do with
Okay, so she trying to trauma dump on the lady in her
basically.
situation,
That's
what she
I'm
want to
picking
do
up
with her
because,
baby.
like she's saying that her sentiment is connected to a different sentiment with that name. Hers is from her
Grandmother.
And God forbid,
That is
God forbid,
true.
if her grandma's no longer here, then
That
she wants a
is
piece
true.
of her since she's having a child.
And that's a girl.
And that's a girl.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
I completely understand because that's not my responsibility. If you got bullied by a kid in, say, elementary.
Yeah, you gotta
or
go to
middle school,
counseling.
Go yourself to counseling. This is not my responsibility.
A few days ago, we went out for brunch, and I told her the name we were planning on giving our daughter, and she got extremely quiet. Essentially finished the meal in silence and left the restaurant. At the time, I didn't understand what was wrong until she messaged me later asking why I would name my child after one of her bullies. So when she said we, so you not by yourself?
think she may
You
be
and your
married.
husband or something, or you and your boyfriend have decided this?
So
Well, baby, it's a done deal.
it's done. My thing is, and it's for her to not even tell you up front, okay, I have a problem with that.
No, she did.
Like,
She told
did,
her
but I'm
5 or 6 years
saying-
ago.
But I'm saying still for you
She
to
did.
say you leave the meal and stuff quietly, knowing that she already told you. So you should have got over it by now. This is 5 or 6 years ago. She already told you
Well,
she
that is true. That she was
going
strongly
And she probably told her the sentiment on why she wants to name her daughter Lily. And so you should be able to understand as a human being that there are multiple people with that person's name. It's not just that person. You're going to find other people with that person's name. Does that mean that child's going to come out like your bully? No. You had a bully. Sucks to suck. I'm sorry for you. But there's counseling, there's therapists, there's psychologists. That has nothing to do with this lady who is pregnant. You do not need to be stressing her out with your trauma of dealing with a bully.
And this is not to soften the blow on saying that trauma that bully gave, because when I was in school, I have been bullied. So, in reference to my skin color, something that I cannot change. So, I don't know what type of trauma or trigger this is for the lady, that she has suppressed it all those years, and she's saying she conveyed her feelings to her friend and thinking that would change the friend's mind. But to me, I think they need to come to a middle ground on understanding both sides and not really be at the point where they're not considering one another. For example, if she's saying, I'm going to name her that, look, I understand. I'd have let the conversation off with at the brunch. I understand you don't like this name. However, this name is significant to me because my grandmother used to always read this favorite book to me, and it had her name into it. And I always envisioned as a little girl, my grandma was reading me, that I was going to name my child that. So therefore, that supersedes any bullies that you had, because I was thinking about this before I even met you as my friend.
Right.
Now that you are my friend, yeah, it's been 5 or 6 years you've told me this, but now I even strongly want more, because let's say her grandmother then went on to glory. Right. Not trying to say that that's the case, but let's just say that that's something that warms her heart. And then also, I'm sure because she knows the girl, she's going to take that same book that her grandmother read her, and when she read it out loud, the daughter going to be like, oh, mommy, you got my name in it. Right. That's me, mommy. So at this point, if that lady can't come to an impasse on her being named that, it's best that she no longer be friends with her, because I would hate for her to feel ill will or feel like she's not being heard as a friend. I just think that they need to just move on in different directions, or if they can't come to a compromise, it's best for them to split, even though they may have been friends for a while.
I agree as well, because it's like, it looks like they had probably been friends for a good set of time, because 5 or 6 years to be close to somebody is not as common as it used to be. So I have to say that I commend them for being friends for that long, but there has to be a line drawn in the sand, and if both of y'all can't reach a common ground, it's best. And it might hurt because y'all been together for so long, but the way it's looking, neither one of you are going to give on how you feel about the name. She's still going to have the trauma attached to that name. You're still going to have the embrace of your grandma. So no matter which way, it's a double-edged sword. If you give on it, then you're going to feel like you miss out on the name that you've been thinking about since kids. And if you don't give on it, she's going to feel like, oh, so you're doing this out of spite for my bully. So really, in all honesty, I feel like y'all should split up as friends. Because both of you, neither one of you are going to feel good about either outcome. There's no winning. Yeah,
because if you have this daughter, and let's say this is your only daughter, and your next kids are sons, you're going to be like, oh, I missed out on naming my baby that, and I always want to name my baby that.
Right. Because I haven't met no boy named
So, at the end of the day, clutch my pearl, because y'all know how I feel about the children. They are our future. So just leave your comments down below on how you feel about this. But I really feel that they should just part ways if they can't compromise about the name. And maybe she can start going to direct her friend to some resources, because it seems like this trauma is very deep for her to still be like this bully's name taunts her like that. That's very traumatic, and I'm sorry to her for experiencing that. But at the end of the day, you're just wanting to name your child that from something else. But if you was doing it out of spite, because at first later I thought you was doing that out of spite, because I have experienced that. Now, I'm older, and I've actually gone through counseling, and I've did the internal work on myself. And even those people send me friend requests all the time.
Who you talking?
I don't let them get it. I block them.
Oh.
So I say I'm mature in a certain way, but I protect myself at all costs because you never know when a bully feel like you doing something and then they got receipts or pictures of what you used to look like and all this, that, and the third on how they gonna come. I just don't even give them access to me, honey.
Right. My thing is, baby, you're not really in the wrong for this. It's and my thing is, it's also there's other people that probably has the same name that you have.
Yeah.
That you're trying to give your daughter and that the bully has. So my thing is, I understand the trauma runs deep, but she can't act like that towards every person that has that type of name. Because you said Lily, and I know Lily is a kind of a common name, even though you use that as a fake one. But I'm saying, with every name you have, it's probably a common name for her to have a bully that name, and for you to want to name your child that is probably common.
Yeah.
So she can't act a certain way. She needs to do some deep healing, go to therapy, because at this point it's out of your hands. Because you're not going to give on your name. Don't change it for nothing, because you're going to feel upset if you end up doing it, because it's a sentiment for your grandmother. Stand your ground in what you said, but also understand that it might cost you.
That part. So just comment below and join us again on what in the schnitzel is going on here.